To do that, I'll click the IP button and DHCP server, and on the DHCP tab you'll notice there's a DHCP setup button. Click the button, we select the interface on which we want to run DHCP server. In this case we'll put it on the bridge interface. We click next, and we can accept the defaults from here forward. Now your DNS server does need to be a real DNS server. In this case we're going to make a little change here, and we're going to put in our IP address of our router itself on the local area network. The reason is this is the DNS server that will be given to computers that are connected to this router. And since we have caching DNS turned on, we're actually going to tell our host on the network that our router is their DNS server, and that will make the caching DNS work properly for us. We hit next and just accept the defaults, and DHCP setup has completed successfully. So with DHCP set up, as well as our WAN connectivity, the last step is to set up the wireless interface itself. The wireless features in Router OS are really powerful, and because of that it can be a bit overwhelming sometimes. So I'm going to show you the things that you need to set up, and we won't go into all of the advanced options that probably aren't necessary for your setup. So to get to the wireless interface, you may have noticed I clicked the wireless button, and there we see the wireless interface, and I'm going to click the check mark which will enable that interface. Next I'll double click the interface itself to bring up its properties, and I'll go to the wireless tab. And one thing you may notice here is this advanced mode button, which is a toggle button. If we click advanced mode we get a lot more features, many of which we may not even need. But since this is a more advanced video, we'll go ahead and work in advanced mode. The first step is to set the router to AP bridge mode. This is the access point mode that will allow it to support multiple stations. Next we're going to set the band on 2 GHz B, G, or N so we can support the widest range of our users. Channel width we'll leave at 20 because we're supporting laptops, and 20 MHz is the standard channel width. Now for the frequency we have a little bit of flexibility here. What I'm going to recommend is that you use something called dynamic frequency selection, or DFS mode. And we're going to set DFS mode to no radar detect. What this will do is once this interface is enabled or the router boots up, it will scan for frequencies looking for one that has the least amount of interference and traffic on it. Once it finds that frequency, it'll lock in and work like an auto channel mode. The next thing we'll set is our SSID, which is what we're broadcasting wirelessly for clients to associate with. In this case, I'll just set it to my home router. Next is the wireless protocol. We need to set that to 802.11 to support our laptops. And that's all we're going to change at this point because we need security, but that's actually created in another place. The next thing we'll do is click on the HT tab and make sure all 4 chains are selected. This will allow us to run in MIMO mode when we're doing 802.11.